Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to NFT Live, Web3 Network, Biggie Poppins, Gifted, Nifty Q. Another hour with you guys. What's going on? How we doing, fellas? We're going to go around the NFT space, Web3. If you guys are here early, appreciate y'all showing up, showing out. All right, guys. What's happening?
Dude, what's not? I don't know, man. Like, I get it. The markets are red, but it's a good day today. I don't know. Like, the shows have just been flowing smoothly. It's been positivity, good things in the horizon. A welcome respite to me.
Yeah, we had a nice say what. GM Web3 was talking a little bit about Farcaster. I know we wanted to hit SocialFi last week and we didn't get a chance to, but how was that episode, Gifted?
It was great, as always. Awesome conversations. Yeah, Nifty Kit launching frames on Base, which is a big deal. You know, awesome place for creators to be finding new collectors and experimenting with new distribution over there. Jess launching the first frame, so shout out to them. But yeah, man, good combos. I was trying to highlight some of the positive things because there is a lot of positive things happening, but you know, the timelines are kind of very negative right now. So we always do our best to balance it out, you know, try and give some of that positive energy even when it's hard to find. Because yeah, there's a lot of negativity, a lot of red, and other things I'm sure we'll get into.
Yeah, markets definitely took a little bit of a tumble here in the last 10 hours. We will take a look at that. What was the most positive news you guys were touching on? Like, Gif, I know you were in that spaces last night. We could touch on that here in a moment. But as far as positivity, as far as trying to look at things that are actually going on, what was the most positive?
Couple quick things. I'll just try to run through some things here. FX Hash continuing to build, launching a new user experience, a new platform, a whole redesign of their website, looking cool. AVAX integrating straight into Stripe to onboard people directly into crypto without having to go through exchanges. Prohibition.art, another awesome generative art platform, expanding into Base. We just mentioned Nifty Kit launching frames on Base for creators. Decentralized having a successful airdrop of their runes. One of the biggest runes right now is the new decentralized rune from CyberKongz. Rune number 2 successfully executed a massive airdrop yesterday. So that's just a few things off the top of the dome that are all, you know, very positive developments amidst, again, the sea of blood that our Cappy Biggie Poppins is just rolling around in.
Getting fat on. Yes, yeah. Cappy's getting fat too.
All right, yeah, there were some nice updates on the SEI ecosystem side. We had SEI
V2. We mentioned SEI V2 getting the full audit. That's also a positive story that we mentioned. So
yep, win-win SEI V2. We did mention this yesterday as well. Azuki had their first episode here. It looks like it was 8 minutes, so 9 minutes long here. Enter the Garden episode 1. Yes, short episodes for sure, but you could see. This is the first iteration in what they're trying to do. I mean, that's like when you see the Azuki PFPs in different parts of the city. Like it's actually it's a pretty cool experience to be able to see the IP in that way. But I have not actually watched this. I'm going to do this prior, you know, or actually post episode. I definitely want to hop in. I'll be watching all these, man. Like I'm not the biggest anime fan. Like growing up, I was.
Though, right?
But yes, right? They're gonna be dripping this out.
Cool. Nice. I love anime. It's my favorite thing to watch before I go to sleep. Usually they're like shorter episodes, you know, half-hour episodes, quick, punchy, and like, I don't know, they just put my brain in like a certain mood. Like it's different than when you're watching, you know, like, I don't know, like it's just Shogun or an actual thing. Like, there's something about it that just puts my brain in a really comfortable spot. So I'm looking forward to this, dude.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it as much as, you know, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of everything Azuki and that team has been up to. The quality looks very good, and I think this is the first really high quality anime show. You know, obviously, you know, Oniforce has done different types of content. Azuki's done different types of content. There's been other trailers that we've seen that have been good in the past from other projects, but I don't think we've seen anything this complete or robust or high quality, you know, that sort of cinematic film-esque anime, if you will, that's been developed yet out of crypto native IP. So I'm excited to see it, and it looks really high quality. Again, I hope the storytelling is dope and it lives up to, I don't know, the hype.
Yeah, just drop that link there in the chat here.
Let
so
us
definitely
know.
give some support.
Have you watched it? What do you think? 1 through 10. How many stars? IMDb rating, Rotten Tomatoes. What do you give it?
Get the NFT live rating. We're definitely a little harsh on the rating side, so we'll have to come back tomorrow and see if all of these co-hosts up here watched it, and we can give our take. All right, DGen Hulk, Marty McFly, Jack's Hideaway, Safety, Choina, Christian, Knox, Easy and Crypto, OVOT to all of you. Also, Easy saying Shogun rules. Yeah, I got through the whole Shogun series. That was really cool. Again, I brought this up on GM Web3. We always need some type of Westerner in Japanese flicks. It's fine. I feel like it was part of. I didn't realize it was part of an actual series of book, and that's where the actual character comes from. I thought they just threw the guy in there, but I really liked it. It had the actor. I don't know the guy's name, but it was the actor from The Last Samurai. One of the other flicks that just seemingly inputs a Westerner into a Japanese story. But anyways, awesome.
That was Tom Cruise.
I'm bearing the lead.
Yeah,
Awesome,
but that one is like a little bit more critique worthy, right? Because it's like, you know, it's crazy warfare and everything, and you just see Tom Cruise with like a little scratch.
Oh yeah,
it's like unscathed. Yeah,
you're talking about the 18th century Gatling gun that somehow just misses. It hits everybody, but Tom Cruise. Yes,
that's how good looking the man is. Fucking bullets just go around him.
Oh, he wouldn't have been able to star in Top Gun too if he got hit. To be fair, all right, guys, we are okay. So DGen is saying we'll watch that after the show. Definitely check out Shogun as well. That I don't, you know, we're not doing a show critique on NFT Live today, but I think we all can agree that was a really good series. Probably should win a bunch of awards there upcoming. All right, I'll take a quick look at the market. Like we said, a little bit of red. We're kind of waiting for a bounce here. We fell below some pretty like psychological barriers here.
This might be the end,
fell
fam.
below 60,000. Yeah,
Bitcoin's going to zero.
60,000. God forbid. Bitcoin is above previous cycles all-time high, and yet we po. Ethereum is below 3K. Where's Solana sitting? 125. Why are we looking at this without looking at crypto bubbles? I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either, man.
Yeah, super red.
Weird choice.
Oh, HNT. Look at Helium outperforming the market like crazy. God, that ratio from HNT to Bitcoin or Ethereum probably looks massive right now. Biggest losers in this bunch: Tau, Jupiter down 25. This is on the week, so let's go for the day and see where we're at. So it looks like Wormhole, Pendle. I don't even know what the Pendle token is. Bonk looks like it's pretty big. Go ahead.
Real world assets.
Real world assets thing.
Yeah.
RWAs. Just getting flying off the shelves today. Solana down 7%. All right, let's move into. We had no gainers in the. Is this right? No gainers in the top 100. What is this
on the day?
Weird.
White Bitcoin is
I will
green.
Say, though, dude, I'm so impressed, dude. I'm kind of happy about HNT, and I'll tell you why. The normiest of friends that I have, like over here, that was the vehicle that they chose to enter crypto back in the day with the miners and all that. So I'm hoping they didn't sell and that they're doing well. I'll need to check up on them to see, you know. But it's good to see, you know. It's baffling, dude. I was just in another Discord right now with another friend, and I almost want to read you the full sentence, but it was basically, you know, like, why is Samurai moving to Base? And I was like, oh well, you know, liquidity, attention, what have you, and everything. He's like, yeah, I've heard of Base. It's doing really well. My jaw just dropped to the floor. I was like, wow, dude. Like, it's still
Coinbase, bro.
Right? Like when I meet people and they're like, I came from Cardano, or I came it's something you have to kind of keep in the mind, in the back of your head sometimes, I guess, is that like not everybody took the same on ramp that you did or played in the same ecosystems, right? And so, yeah, it's pretty encouraging to see, that. And I hope we were able to do that more, even with the fucking helium people. Maybe we can get them over on SEI.
I mean, that was always to me the indicator that like people just move in different worlds. Like I would talk about the NFT cycle even in 2021. People like would ask me about XRP and
Yeah.
what's happening with Ripple and Doge. That's all I want to be like. That's my exposure to the crypto space, and I just palmed the forehead. But I don't have enough time to if you don't get it, I don't have time to explain it. Gifted, we're sitting here. Again, looking, I guess, now at the top 200. So 100 through 200. Pepe looks to be the worst performer on the day. Arrow
it's
down
Pepe
as well.
coin. Pepe coin is different from Pepe.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Ordi is down. Safe is down. Some green here, barely any. But we have Jito. It looks like Venom, which I'm not familiar with. But yes, mostly red in this category as well. Guys, do you have any like broad takes on just what this move is? Is this going to last? Again, this is all 50-50. I would love the community's take as well.
Macros.
Look, we can always go lower. I have seen some of the macro people that I follow, urging some caution here. But to me, Q, this is that bloody moment that I've been waiting for. I think even if we do go somewhat lower, maybe a little bit more prolonged, this is that time where I'm like, whatever capital I had that I'd be looking to deploy, this is when you start, nibbling at least, or taking some positions of things that you'd like. I think you should do pretty well once the rebound comes. So yeah, man, been a long time coming. I think I've been waiting for this since February or something like that.
So what you're telling me is we're finally going to get a Biggie Poppins that says
not waiting for the green Biggie Poppins. Yes, he's turning green. He's going to turn green.
I feel like for literally the last 2 months you've been like, I'm just waiting for the rug. I'm waiting for the water to pull offshore to see who's not wearing pants.
Dump, man, it always happens. Like it baffled me why people. I don't know if you're a trader, right? Like a day trader or a swing trader or what have you. Well, of course, you're always playing that volatility and those ranges. I don't do that. I suck at it. So to me, especially when it's like a halving year, it's like I don't care about Q1. It's like great, like play some or whatever. But in the end, it's wait till the post halving, wait after taxes, wait after all that. There'll be a sell the news event, a bit of a dump, and then we're off to the races. So for me, this is that moment. I'm happy. I got my wish list. I'm tracking. And now it's the opposite, right? Q. Like now it's like, don't be too greedy. Don't try to fucking find the Uber bottom, right? Like, no, it's not gonna go down to 30K or whatever some people might be like praying for out in crypto Twitter. But high 50s, I can see it going down there.
All right, so we got a great comment here from Choina, which is basically leaning into what you're talking about. Anyone here subscribe to sell in May and go away? Well, who knows how long, again, this is going to last. I wouldn't want to sell right now, though. Like, the selling had to have happened. Like, you don't want to sell into a down 50% over the past month, which is what we're seeing.
It's important to keep yourself cognizant of it because I do think, but that's something that like came out from the traditional finance world, right, China, where most hedge fund managers and fund managers just like, take their summer vacation and come back, around August, September and start deploying capital again.
Traditional finance is coming to crypto.
Traditional, yeah, it is.
So here's an interesting point to add to this. Apparently, the stock market, like TradFi, is looking to move to 24/7 trading. Because of crypto.
See that, yeah.
So I think that, like Biggie was saying, that's kind of an old hat way of operating in TradFi that is going to be shifting more towards the way that crypto operates. So yes, some people will still subscribe to that, of course, but I think a lot of traders today are much more like active 24/7, 365, unless like I'm going to go take 3 to 4 months off, especially in a quote unquote bull market. You know, obviously it doesn't feel like a bull market at the moment, but we are in a bull market. I just don't think that traditional way of operating is going to hold as true as it might normally. And even like in like a serious bear year, like last year or the year before, I could see more people like maybe just being like, fuck it, I don't need to be trading in this market right now. But yeah, I just think it's going to be very interesting to see what happens if and when the stock market moves to 24/7 trading to compete.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right, Biggie Poppins, please do your best host impression here. Bring in Raven.
Welcome back, brother. It's good to see you.
What's going on?
Always so colorful, man.
I can appreciate your video quality here, Raven.
Yeah, and the
really?
background
Okay.
too, right? I'm excited today, folks. We have Raven visiting.
Yeah.
Can we bump his mic up just a little bit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could bump my own mic up.
Oh, there you go.
Better?
There it is.
Getting
Getting
There we go.
I
There
feel
you go.
super selfish today, Q, but
Okay.
also so stoked. As you know, Raven created Dots generative art platform. I would call it a platform. It's not a project, right, Raven? And
Definitely,
you know, I went ham on it because I really love what you're doing. And honestly, I wasn't trying to front run anybody, but I knew. And so I got all my dots together last minute, and I think like I outdid our good friend Matt Silva. Shout out to that guy. He's a good friend, good longtime proofer, and I won.
I know.
I'm gonna get a fucking awesome print and output from Ravens himself, and he's here to share that and reveal it with us today. So,
Yeah. So I could give a little background. So yeah, so I've been on I've been approved for Super Rare for a while, which I've always kind of admired that platform for doing great one-of-one releases on the art front, and I've been just kind of waiting for the right moment to kind of put a piece up there. And one of the things I did with the Dots project and the kind of the first Dots project and the first usage of it was that you could make these composites, which Biggie did, which you could, the dots that you minted on Prohibition, you could pass in and then make, composites with those dots. So kind of in the vein of checks and some of the other projects that we've seen, but these are all like completely on-chain generated. It's through the Artblocks engine, things like that. So it's exciting, continuing to plan the future of that project and the really the ecosystem, because it allows for you to use these dots in all different types of projects, and I'm getting other artists and things like that to potentially do releases and maybe even make it an open platform where anybody can make stuff that consumes dots. So one of the bounties I had for the composite, which is kind of the first use case of the dots, was that the person that made the largest dots composite would get airdropped my first Super Rare Genesis piece, which Biggie Poppins made the largest composite. He had, I think it was like 76 dots or something like that. It was around that number. So congratulations. And I just wanted to come on the show and present the piece and tell you a little bit about it before I mint it and airdrop it to you.
Dude, thank you, man.
You excited?
Are you kidding me, man? I'm stoked, dude. Obviously for this reveal, to be able to have something of yours to hang it on my wall amongst my other cool art.
Yep.
And for everything that's to come, man. Like I don't know, man. I feel sometimes when there's a couple of people that followed me into this, right? And so like every now and then they'll text me like, "Hey, what's going on with Dots?" I'm like, dude, just wait. Like there's a lot more to this than what you're thinking that I can possibly imagine right now.
No, we're gonna. I actually was talking with Jordan. One of the things that I am doing is we're planning on closing the claim, because I want to get a sense before we do the next thing. I want to get a sense of I want to make sure there's not like tons of extra supply out there that's just waiting to be unleashed, right? Like I want to make sure we have a sense of how many are going to be out there, right? So I think we're
like
making
closing the dot mint.
No, the mint will always be there, but
I'm saying we did those free claims, right? Like if you have an art blocks piece, for example, like you get 3 free dots. If you had a Moonbirds,
Gotcha.
you got 3 free dots. If you Proof Collective, you had like, I don't even know, like 8. There's a whole list of them in there. Like if you have anything and any NFTs, like, Bright Moments, like there's so many. You should definitely go to Prohibition, .art and connect and check if you have free claims and to mint some free dots. You just have to bridge some ETH over to Arbitrum, which I feel like people are more comfortable doing even than in January when I launched this project. Like the people that are more and more people are collecting art on L2s, and it's becoming more of a normal thing, which is awesome because it allows for projects like this where you couldn't do this project with the kind of interactivity and things like that on an L1 because the gas prices would just like be stupid, right? Like it wouldn't be you wouldn't be able to do it with the level you'd have to pay for every single time you pass in a dot and things like that. So
this is a little bit of a selfish question just based on like the topic we were having on Say What this morning, which is more of a Say blockchain focused space that I host with Biggie Poppins and GIF. We were having the cross chain discussion, right? Of like this project essentially is like not moving from Say, but they're moving and expanding their project into Base. And so this conversation about like how founders look at like launching on different chains, I'm just interested in your take because it feels like we're there. Yeah, Prohibition. Yeah,
expanding into Base. So
there you go. So I'm just interested in like your thesis of how to do that correctly because I think that is where we're at now. We've always talked about it like kind of in theory, and now we see like, oh yeah, projects can launch on like 2 or 3 different chains and all of that.
Definitely, yeah. I think it's a multi-chain is already here, right? And I think at first it was like, oh, all the legitimate art is going to be on L1, and if you're on an L2 releasing work or anything like that, it started out with Tezos, right, where another L1, but similar thing, like that's kind of the people that are selling their stuff on the street, right, or there's not fine art, it has to be an L1, and I think that's changing, right? I think like it's important that it does change because it makes no sense to pay a bunch of gas to be on L1 when the provenance is still there on L2 and you save on gas, and it just is much more efficient. So I think everyone just has to be more comfortable like using L2s because I think if Ethereum goes where we all want it to go and 10K, 20K, plus, like, the gas prices are not going to get any better on L1. They're going to get a lot worse, right? So we just it just is crazy. So so I think the L2 is here to stay, and I think if you're building a platform now, you have to think about L2. Like there's no doubt about it. Like I don't see any platforms being successful on L1 only right now, releasing, just the way the market is and where things are going. Just I think you have to entertain L2s at least for a subset of what you're doing, right?
Well, and clearly Jordan agrees, which is we mentioned Prohibition.art is expanding to Base as well, and yeah, you're seeing more and more art moving that way.
Base has just been crazy, like they came out of nowhere, but I think like they obviously have a lot of money with Coinbase. They've been doing a really great job. The Coinbase wallet has taken over, MetaMask for me. I think it's a much better product than MetaMask. I think the ability to bridge like free is like crazy.
Huge.
It's a superpower. It feels amazing. Going between mainnet and Base with Ethereum feels really good when you use the coin. We've been talking about that for a while. Again, you can avoid bridging fees, and it feels very seamless.
Yeah, it's tricky because like dots, for example, like if I was to release dots today, I'd probably release it on Base, to be honest. I wouldn't probably go on Arbitrum just because it is more difficult to bridge to Arbitrum than there is to Base, just the way of things. But I mean, Arbitrum still has the biggest market share on L2. They're still I would argue probably that have the best security. If I have to guess of who was going to get, who has the most stability, it would be Arbitrum, right? Just because they've been around for the longest time, they're closest to like developing, all those steps that you see that kind of, I forget there's a site that tracks this of kind of like the L2s and like what stage they're at. I forget the name of the site, but it's Arbitrum is by far they've done the most work to really make it so that it is has the strongest provenance to stick around, or security wise.
I love hearing that, dude. Because I have noticed a lot of the AI tokens that are launching, like Ionet and Morpheus, are launching on Arbitrum. So I imagine
it's going to be a battle, I think.
Right?
But I think it comes down to ease of use, and Base is winning that war right now. And I think with the smart wallet that they're coming out with, I think I'm really looking to that because I definitely, as an artist, want to do a lot of with dots and things like that. Like I want to get these because they're such a low price point, that being like $5 or whatever each. I'm really thinking, how can I get these into retail? How can I get these like to a lot more people that are not necessarily traditional NFT collectors? I think something like this smart wallet that they've been working on, where it supposedly, just uses a pass key, that's built into iOS to just make a wallet for you with one click, is like, and you don't have to save your seed phrase or anything like that. That's the stuff we need, right? To really get new blood in here. And that's desperately what this whole space needs. So I'm really looking forward to that.
That's awesome, man. That's super dope. I agree. I think I mean, it's like an approach to chain abstraction, but from the wallet level, right? From the front end side. And I guess Coinbase will be doing everything on the back end for you, which is really
some people always be like, I want my keys, I don't want them in the cloud, I want a hardware wallet. And that's fine. Like if you want to do that, and the people that are here now want that, do it. And I don't think anybody will ever stop that, but I don't think it's realistically to come out here and say like everyone needs to do that, because like your grandmother is not gonna like have a titanium plate with her seed phrase on it, and she's not gonna like chisel that herself, it's just, you need to have some, if we want this to be a mass market thing, and we want to bring a lot of people in, because right now very few people own NFTs in the general population, and they don't, and now because of the at least on the NFT side, the market hasn't been amazing. It's like there's no impetus for people to jump through hoops to go, which they did probably in 2021, right? Because they were like, I can make a ton of money, I can jump, I don't care about the user interface is horrible.
It's funny because I was interviewing Gio from Axie Infinity, which they took off, like they had a bunch of success, especially normie success. Like there was like people in the Philippines that were setting up wallets and all this stuff, and everyone was like, what the hell, how did you get people to do that? How did you get the grandmother to set up your wallet? He's like, if there's enough of an incentive on the other side, humans are actually really intuitive, they'll figure it out, but they need an incentive.
Exactly, that's how our brains work, right? So it's like that reward on the other side. So because that the market isn't there, it's like, it's just, unless we get that UX better and it make it easier for folks to get in here, like they're just not going to come in, they're going to do something else, their attention's going to be elsewhere. So I think we need to, that's my whole vision with dots, and I think like where this whole space needs to go is like, we need to try to target that mass market, like go at a lower price point where it's not people putting tons of money that they can't afford, and just giving them that taste, right? And that easy way to start collecting, right? And then that's just gonna, once we get those people in, then the top end of the market, people that have money are gonna get in that way, and then they're gonna filter up and they'll start spending bigger money, right? But we got to get more people in. The pie has to grow. Like
Raven, I'm interested in your take here on the Moonshine point system or token, however they want to talk about it. Do you have any insight into what this community rewards program is going to look like, having obviously launched on Prohibition?
I don't. Honestly, I was hearing about it the first day today as well. I haven't looked into it too deeply. But it sounds cool. Like I think I think like, you know, I think one of the things that I think we're struggling with kind of after the whole bull run is like, what can we incentivize people to stick around? That's not just, you know, when they can't just buy something and flip it for 2x, you know, the next day. Right. So maybe this point system, you know, I always think like, you know, royalties went away. Is there a way to reward collectors that, you know, just either pay royalties or just always show up for a drop, like when you're an artist and they're your top collectors? Like this type of stuff is definitely, or even on the platform level with this one, is like you really want to be highlighting your top collectors and the people that are just, you know, using your stuff and your top customers, right? Like you want to be highlighting them. So I think it's good.
You're doing this with this situation that we have playing out on stage right now, right? We're doing some type of reveal. Like Biggie, take it away with this with you and Raven.
Dude,
let's do it. Let's
take
do
it away.
I'll take it away. It was a great conversation though. I would love to come back anytime and just chat, because I think we always vibe, and I love the discussion here. It's very high level, which is awesome. But
appreciate
on
the
note, let's do it. So yeah, so this one I spent some time on, and I actually dug back into some photography, because you know that like I did with my brother. You were in Marfa. You collected one, Marfa Mill Somewhere, which I released in Marfa Art Blocks weekend last year with my brother, who's a, you know, photographer, primarily a film photographer.
And it was so
we
cool.
did, you know, we released it in Marfa live, and only people that were in Marfa could collect it.
But please tell them how you were processing these mints, how you were, because it was dope, man. It was like, I haven't seen anything like that yet. It was really cool.
Yeah, I could tell just a quick story. You know, we were standing there and like, we had the Proof actually let us kind of take over their event, really. And there was this huge screen in this bar, right? And what was the name of that bar? Do you know, Biggie?
I forget. Yeah, it's that.
Marfa Spiritual, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yes. And then there was basically, you know, we had this screen running, this app running that, you know, showed the latest mint, and it would just come up. And then people were coming in, you know, they were paying with credit card. And then I was just triggering the mints on my phone to basically go to their wallets, and they were just typing in their ENS or they're just, I was scanning their wallet on their phone with the QR code or whatever, and then just sending the mints over. And then, like, you know, a minute later, once it gets confirmed on the blockchain behind the scenes, it shows up in the party for everyone like to see. And I'm like, you know,
so imagine how cool the commotion was,
yeah.
Right? Like you're sitting there and you're drinking, and then like obviously he's got a line, and people are just like,
yeah,
you know, getting to mint. So when the thing pops up, like they're all beautiful, right? But every now and then you get these like obvious rare ones, like who minted that one?
I just linked the project.
It was really cool, man. Very interactive. Very, I don't know. I enjoyed that process a lot, man.
Yes, these were photos. So my brother took these photos, and then I did this, you know, kind of these generative textures behind it, which you see that's animated. So it was kind of a combination of output. So in this one, in this piece that I'm going to reveal now, it's similar, but I took the photo that's in it. I took it in 2019 in San Clemente, California. And it's called Soul is the piece, and I'll show you it. SOL, like soul, like the sun.
Okay.
And this is it.
Oh, wow, man.
And it's this you know, picture I took from the pier in San Clemente, and then I I did my generative kind of paint strokes behind it in the sky, and you know, added some reflections and things like that in there. And I thought that it was pretty striking between the black and white and the color in the sky and the dot sun, you know, tying it into the you know, composite, you know, in the dots project. So yeah, so this is it. and it
Yeah,
comes
the
with
thing-
the print. So I'll be
Wow,
sending it to you.
Biggie's getting emotional here.
Dude, it's beautiful, man. Thank you.
The thing that really brings it together is the reflections in the water, because
Yeah.
otherwise, you could feel it might feel a little bit sort of separated
Disjointed,
or
right?
disjointed or disconnected, but bringing that color in, subtly with the reflection, that
Yeah.
really kind of makes the composite feel complete and surreal. Like yeah, I don't know. That's the thing that really makes it work for me. But yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and I think I wanted to embrace kind of the, that it is different. It does have that black and white front, and then the color in the back, and there is kind of like a they're different, right? They're just like, and I actually want to embrace that, and I like that I 100% put that reflection there to kind of tie them together. But the concept of the piece is just that, like I the way I thought about it is there's this Marcus Aurelius quote that's like, the soul is dyed by the color of your thoughts. And I always like that quote, and that's kind of the inspiration behind this one, is that, like, when things maybe are black and white or gray, or it just depends on how you look at things, right? Is what the way the reality is. And that's kind of the inspiration behind it, that when things maybe look black and white, there's this, really colorful sun and these paint strokes almost that are there underneath the surface, right? That if you just kind of frame your mind in the right way, right? So, that's kind of the experience. That's the inspiration behind the piece. So I'll be minting it on Super Rare after this, and I'll be airdropping it to you this afternoon.
Dude. Thank you. I don't have a lot of words. It's beautiful.
Oh, it's awesome, man. I'm so glad that I'm so glad that you like it. It means a lot that you're getting emotional about it. You're making me emotional, because it's a special piece, and I hope you hold on to it, and I hope it gives you more of those emotions when you look at it in a joyful way. So, yeah.
Man,
Getting emo up here today, y'all.
Sometimes crypto, no, crypto doesn't have enough of this stuff, though. It really doesn't. Like, you're caught in the morass of, like, chaos and, frankly, a lot of negativity.
Yeah.
And there's not enough of this stuff that goes on, in my opinion. So it's really cool, man. I like this moment. This was awesome.
Love you, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, likewise, man. Sorry, I'm fucking falling apart.
No,
here,
don't
but
apologize at all.
I
dude.
love it, dude. It's
It's
beautiful.
awesome. I'm so
to put it on
glad
my
that you
wall,
did
man.
it, and I'll be sending you a print shortly as well, so you'll have it
Create
on your
some-
wall. So that's great.
Yeah, man. Positive. Again, balancing out all the negativity on the timeline with some positivity here. Love to see it.
Exactly.
That's what we do here.
All right, Biggie, feel free, dude, if you want to take a moment, take a moment, dude.
I don't mind tearing up for this type of stuff. I don't have an issue. It's just it's hard to talk through them.
I'm interested
one
in your
thing-
take as a
Man,
like, Gib,
not
what
gonna
would your
even-
feeling be right now as an artist? Like, if a collector was doing this for, like, you know what I mean?
It's like the ultimate feeling. Are you kidding? Like, the reason why you create as an artist is to express yourself somehow.
Yeah.
And the ultimate feeling is when it resonates with somebody else,
Yeah.
and you see them experiencing something from the thing that you've created and put so much meaning and time and effort into yourself. It's literally the ultimate high as a creator is this moment when somebody else reacts, and you get to like a secondhand experience their experience through this thing that you just made, and it's like the most fucking meta unreal feeling. It's the same exact thing of why comedians get addicted to comedy. It's the laugh, it's the reaction. It's like when they get that laugh and they get that dopamine, that effect, the dopaminergic effect is taking place in a very visceral way, and like this sort of creative tooling and working that you've done in your mind becomes real and is expressed back to you, and with this positive feedback loop. It's like that's what it's all about, and I think ultimately at the end of the day we're all searching for that in some way, but especially like creators and artists, it's like you toil for years and years sometimes, or hours and days and weeks takes on things, just hoping that like once you put it out there, it's not just like meh. You know, like somebody's gonna react to that thing. You hope, you know, whether it's good or bad, even like, you know, at least you get a reaction, and that's really what you want.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, when it hits like that, it's amazing. But yeah,
awesome,
because you know, and especially because you know, this was I worked on this for a while, and I asked for, you know, feedback from different artists and stuff like that, and like, you know, some of the artists were saying, oh, you should maybe go in this direction or that direction. Like, and like, I was just like, you know, no, this is it. Like, this is the way I'm going. Like, and to trust my gut. And
I will
to just
never
go
not
with
be
it
able to
like,
see that. And
it feels good to get that reaction that I trusted my gut and just went with what I liked, you know, which is what you got to do as an artist, right? You just got to put things out there that you think is fucking cool, you know, and you know, it's what you got to do. And like, if it hits, it hits. But you know, and honestly, if you do that, it's gonna hit, because it's like you know, you're speaking from the heart, right? And you're making things from the heart. If you're doing it in another way, it's not gonna be your piece, right? It's not resonating from you, so it's not. It may not hit. It may feel inauthentic, right? Like, Biggie knows this is from me. Like, this is my piece. He knows it came from me. So, yeah.
Man. I was not expecting this. I don't have any more tissues. I'm sorry. I never mind when it's like this, dude. But
I'll give you a big hug at Marfa.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, we'll hug it out, and
it'd be awesome.
Thank you, and say what's up. Give you a hug in person, because
thank you for sharing it, man. It's awesome. I can't wait to have it. I'll send you pictures once I frame it.
Awesome. I was just glad to be in the room when this all happened. So appreciate you, Raven, for doing that here on the show.
You know, we need to just clip this, and anytime people just say, "Oh, crypto is just scams and speculation," and you know,
it takes up so much noise.
Yes,
you know,
and
like, we could just clip this and then play it for them and say, "Hey, like, you know, like."
Grown men weep over JPEG too, right?
It's funny, but no, like I was gonna say the I'm similar to you, Biggie, in that, like, well, I don't know if other things will make you tear up, but literally the only thing pretty much in my life that will ever make me tear up is like really amazing music or something that just resonates with me on an artistic, like, fundamental at a deep level. That'll just hit me, and I will just get tears from listening to a song that I'm just like, holy fuck, it's genius. Like,
definitely,
like, that's like seriously the one thing that will get a tear out of me ever is great art or great music. Specifically, maybe a great film that, you know, just like tweaks you the right way, but like, usually it's music for me.
It's the sublime, right? It's like when you can't find the words for something, right? You're struggling.
But you feel it. You feel it.
Yeah. It's deeper than words, right? It's deeper than that language layer. Like, it's just
I've always loved that representation for theater, Raven. You know, the little mask crying and then the other one laughing. It makes me think of that Shakespeare quote: "Life is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing." You know, and all you have is that laughter and those tears, dude. And when you have them, it's the last thing you should not succumb to, because it's
it's a gift.
It's the most valuable thing in life.
It's a gift. And you know, I think also GIF is like, anybody ever been to Yosemite? Yosemite did that to me. When I came on
it's amazing.
Yosemite the first time, and
you mean the sort of precipice walking through, and you see the whole thing, and you're just like,
valley,
oh shit,
down into the valley, and you look at it for the first time. For me, that got me emotional, because I was like, wow, like this.
Well, that has to be like top 10 most beautiful views ever created by God. It's like it's phenomenal.
Like, I don't know who made this, but they're pretty rad. Like, I don't know, like it seems like you're in Disney or something, but like 100 times better, right? When you go there, you're just like, wow, like,
I don't know how I'm going to transition us back into NFT Live today, but I've got some community comments here.
Let's talk about floor prices, fam.
Smash the like. Jonah saying, very nice. Christian Jensen, beautiful piece. Marty, we're not flooding anything today. He said it's okay this one time we can do this. It's dope looking. Fisker Karma saying, love it. Easy, nice with all these feels. Choni is saying pretty much frames Biggie's outlook here. Bitcoin beginning to rise from behind the shadows. And Stoop Kid walked into something.
Yeah, no, there's a nice metaphor there with the orange dot. But yeah, we're just, look, y'all, we're just trying to cleanse the timeline. You know, especially if you're out there on X, you're just scrolling through endless endless negativity, and then here you go, a beautiful connection between two crypto bros and crypto artists.
They probably already left.
Just
They're
absolutely
like,
losing it over their fucking one of one JPEGs. This is cleansing the timeline.
All right, I'm gonna speed run through a couple updates. You guys stop me when you want to talk about any of them. Okay, I got Coinbase.
Is Jess coming on, or was that just a fake out?
She's fake out. She's coming on later this week. Coinbase is offering Lightning support. Enjoy instant low-cost BTC transfers. It's pretty good. Coinbase making some moves on the base front, but also on the exchange front. It looks like their main centralized exchange is offering now Lightning Network. So good stuff here.
Does Crypto Slam know that they're using their logo? I mean,
whoa, where? Just the lightning. Oh my god! Yeah, they have it.
Fucking
no
around,
one can
fam.
use. Okay, Sands might be launching a Solana 404 potentially. So this is a major Say project. We're looking outside the ecosystem right now while we wait for V2, which just got the completed audit, like Gift was saying earlier in the show. Dave & Buster's allowing customers to bet on arcade games. This is the timeline that we are now in.
Everybody's trying to compete with crypto, man. Look, the TradFi market's going to go 24/7. Dave & Buster's is going to allow gambling.
That is.
What does it say about, like, I don't know. I saw an article that's like, you know, like, do you think it's just saying that the younger generations really, you know, they crave risk, you know, like, and they want
it's
that
stakes. Well,
because
look,
they don't have
I
any
think
stability. It feels
I think that's part of it. I think that so people have studied the fact that there's higher risk taking behavior is starting to become like more accepted. So I think that's part of like the confluence of things. But I also think you just have to understand that like these sorts of things, whether it's like trading traditional stock market or going to an old school fucking bar game room like a Dave & Buster's, they are all now trying to compete with what's happening right here.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you can't compete with what's happening on this fucking phone unless you start amping it up. Add some stakes. Get me some fucking dopamine, dude, because otherwise I'm going to sit on my fucking screens all day and do other crazy shit that gets me that high.
I still think experiences, we're in such a, like, I don't even know the right word for this, but we're in some like other universe for the conversations. But I still think there's an area for experiences in that environment. Like, again, phone. I'm sitting on my phone, sitting in my room doing this. There's a room for experiences or something.
But to get
to
people
fill that void.
to take it's kind of like what you were talking about, the incentives to get people to jump through a certain hoop, to get people off their couch and off their phones and off their computers and away from their big screen comfortable TVs. It's now getting harder and harder to figure out what's the incentive on the other side.
You should just be a partner. to be honest, like it used to be. What does my partner want from me?
Talk about dopamine. Do you mind if I derail it for a second?
We're off the fucking rails, dude. We're in some.
I promise it'll be worth it, because I don't know if you guys have talked about this. Have you guys talked about Courtyard on this show yet?
We covered them when they were initially launching their card
RWA
packs and shit.
Cards,
but like we haven't talked about them in
months.
Talk
about dopamine. So, you know, recently exactly. Like recently I found my Pokemon binder from when I was like 8, you know, and turned out I thought it was not valuable at all. And it turns out it was like, you know, it's like thousands of dollars. Like, so I've been like researching and setting it off to PSA and stuff like that and getting back into it. Dude, like dopamine ripping packs, like talk about dopamine. That's a dangerous road to go down. And Courtyard, they have a vending machine now where you pay $25 credit card, and then it pulls a slab, like for a graded slab that comes right out. You can pay with, you know, USDC or a credit card.
So back to the point when this is literally just one example of millions of things that you can be doing right on your computer or your phone at any given moment, dude. Like Blast is literally just a bunch of fucking gamble-fi, dude. It's like an entire chain that's just filled with this shit. And then you got social media that is basically like just like gambling for dopamine hits by posting different things and engagements. Like, yeah, how do you get people to get out of their fucking houses and go have these IRL experiences, Q? It's like, you
so
got to start upping the stakes. You got to do something different.
They refill these like every week, and you get an email saying these are the big hits of this one, and they develop this whole system so it's like they can't rig it. It's like open, I think it's on the blockchain, and basically like there's floors and then there's ceilings, and they give you a 70% market buyback for whatever you got if you want to just sell it instantly back to them. So it's interesting. It's just like it's quite the dynamic, and also like if you want the card, you always
Physical.
can redeem it, and they'll send it because they store it in a Brinks vault, all the cards, so they're actual like tokenized of the cards. So
the team is cool too. We talked with them when they were launching initially on base, which was months and months and months ago at this point.
It seems like they haven't really got the traction yet, but it's definitely a cool product. Like I wish it was more sales. I wish there was more action on there for sure, like than there is, and I'm sure they do as well. But I think it's just a cool product that, but I think they got some competition because, non-crypto competition with eBay Vault eBay has its own vault now that like you can store cards in and then sell them. And basically they don't leave the vault. Right. And you actually don't have to pay sales tax and all this stuff. PSA has a vault. So I think Golden Auctions has a vault. So there's all these companies that are doing the same thing. They're the only ones that are like, doing it on chain, which is cool. But but I think there's another company on Solana as well that's doing it. But I checked it out. It kind of looked, to be honest, like a little sketchy. Like I don't know, like Courtyard definitely is more legit and has
and I think I saw Sneakerheads is doing it on Blast now too, right?
Yeah, there's a sneak. Yeah, they look pretty cool. I saw that too. But so I thought they already made it to the finals. Are you saying Crawleytown's not?
I tried to tell you guys not to get ahead of your skis on this. It's a semifinal leg that they have to play against a higher ranked team. Crawleytown could potentially make it to, I believe, League 2, so the league right underneath the championship series, but they have to play MK Dons in this leg and then win another leg as well, or at least another kind of aggregate against whoever wins the next semi. Yeah. So, we're tracking that. Hopefully Crawleytown does well, man. That would be really cool. Friend Tech pushed their airdrop to Thursday. The intern is playing some games here, so just again some lighthearted stuff. And then let's get it. We already touched on the Azuki piece, the anime episode here. Tenacious saying the most bullish thing about the Azuki anime episode is that it's just the beginning. Expect more art, lore, world building, character development, immersion, and IP licensing. And speaking of IP licensing,
Pudgy Penguins,
and we just lost.
Did we talk about Moonbirds?
That's interesting, Raven.
We got back.
You're right. The great minds think alike right now. Today we're announcing that we're building the Moonbirds universe, and it starts with you. You guys take it away. It seems like you have some thoughts or insights here.
You want to go first, Biggie, or you want?
No, you go for it, Raven. I'm interested in your thoughts.
Well, I just think it's it's just what they kind of I think had to do with the way the community reacted to the CC0. I think the times completely changed. People forget that. Like that summer when they did CC0, CC0 was actually like a big thing. It was like CC0 summer and blah, blah, blah. And that just completely backfired that, that move. And Yuga, proof coming under Yuga, like Yuga's taken the opposite approach, right? Where they're actually creating a platform for collectors to kind of, use their IP and track it and kind of things like that. So and it kind of put it out there for people to use. I think they had to do this. I think it also gives them opportunity, which I think they're going to do, which I don't know. This is what I think they're going to do behind the scenes, but I don't have any inside input. Is like I think they're going to probably, if you do go and you do get the new art that comes with the IP rights, they're probably going to have you go into a contract that's royalty enforced. and do, because the original Moonbirds contract was not. So it's also
sense.
a way for them to gain some new revenue if people move over, and then now you're in a royalty enforced contract. So
the art
So
looks
a lot of
phenomenal.
people, let's hype on, or like let's like really hone in here on this situation with CC0, because there were a lot of people in the community that did have a lot of things to say about them potentially taking away CC0. Like, you can't, I think a ton of the takes were like, you can't go back and reverse the CC0. You can't create this new collection. Do we have any takes on like the main points that were made from the other side?
well, they can't go back. That's why they're changing the art, because
Yeah,
they can't go back and take like when they first were saying, like, people were saying, oh, you could change one pixel and then make it's like, but then how would you know which one was the CC0 and which one was the one that's not CC0? And like, so they had to change the art. That's the way they have to do it, to make it like that. The original pixel art will always be CC0. They can't revoke that. So
I think it's really bullish if you look big picture at the fact that Bored Apes has been sort of leading the whole decentralized IP, distributed IP, movement from the jump, and now has built out a platform that they've got more experience of how do you actually create, like partnership licenses as well, and support that within a bigger community. Like, they really are actually starting to build out, to me, what starts to look like the Disney. And I know that that's overused, but the concept is just having a banner, Yuga brand underneath which you have a bunch of different worlds that can all synergize and work together to scale value and to create network effects, et cetera. Yeah. And so if you can lean into some of that expertise that Made by Apes has been generating over there, and basically like now provide that platform to more opportunities, create a bigger net. It's the whole reason why you have malls in the first place, is that if you can aggregate the right ingredients of things together, then you amass a lot of value in one place. And that's the big vision. But I do think that, again, like the fact that they've already been testing this out, rolling out a platform, building out businesses within the community, doing that with Apes, I think that that's very bullish. And I would imagine that's what they are going to try and do, is support builders in the community that want to be launching businesses or doing more things and providing more opportunities, like Pudgy Penguin's also starting to do. That was another thing that we didn't talk about, but they just rolled out one of their first licensing opportunities.
I think the big play that Yuga's going for is, they're betting everything on this 3D world they're creating, the other side. And, they're really going to try to bring all these, these, like you said, these IPs to that world. And then they have their own island, like you said, like Disney, they have their own theme park areas and things like that. And they're really going to try to make this like an area that you could build things in, and you can almost like I think of it like Second Life, like that's what they're trying to go for.
This
and
is
like,
really, this actually,
Yeah.
Raven, I don't mean to get it in front of you here, but this
Yeah.
actually just dropped a second ago. This was from Garga 15 minutes ago, trying out a new format for town halls, doing it in the other side. So this goes into our conversation, because the other side is now opening for, I guess, a town hall AMA.
That's dope.
Wow.
That's dope.
It's great that they are at a point that they're comfortable enough with the tech that they can start to use, apply some utility or functionality there. That means that, again, it's been very short steps. And one of the criticisms that has been levied against Yuga and other side is that, like, we started with these sort of building in public trips. What happened to the trips? We haven't had one in so fucking long. So maybe this is sort of like getting ahead of that. It's like, we're now going to just start to show you by integrating functionality into things that we're already doing, so that you can see that this thing is real and we're building it. I don't know. I hope it looks fucking dope. I hope it's like the greatest fucking AMA metaverse, meeting experience you've ever had.
Yeah.
It says Voyager's code is BAYC, MAYC, Meebits, Grails, and Moonbirds can all attend.
What's Grailed? What's that mean?
That's NKTF.
Okay.
I think I
proof Grails.
Yeah. I think I flipped mine. I think I flipped mine for a big L because I wasn't well in the art, unfortunately. But But anyway,
They don't say Proof though. Proof should be able to attend there too, right?
they didn't say Mythics either.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, I think they're gonna go. That's the thing. I think Proof, the direction that the Proof name, which they maybe even rename it or whatever, but the collective is gonna be the art focused. I think it's and I think they're gonna go with Moonbirds more this other side route. Maybe they merge them together at some point. I think, but I think maybe they give access eventually. But I think like that's gonna be the main focus between the differentiator between the communities where. Before it was like Moonbirds was the art collectors PFP for a second and that kind of thing. They're moving away from that, folding that into
clear division, right? Like to separate the two. Although I would say like I would love to see Grail's art on the other side.
Yeah, for sure. Like I think that would be a great opportunity to have do art galleries in there and things like that. But I think that's what's kind of cool about it to me is like they're trying to. I think at least what I hear about it is they're trying to make more it more general, right? Like there's infinite amount of opportunities and like things that could be done in other side. And I don't know. I'm curious to check it out. It's I don't know. Again, a lot of people have tried this, like Horizon Worlds with Facebook and things like that, and it just no one's been really able to succeed. I guess Roblox for like kids and stuff is like kids spend time in it and stuff like that, which is very similar. But yeah, we'll see if they can pull it off.
It's a really interesting move. You can see Garga's fingerprints on this because of them just like not releasing an announcement saying like, hey, this is going to be 3 weeks in advance or 4. He's like literally on Thursday, we're just going to hop in there, like hop in with us. Like this is very much the ethos that they had early on before they brought on a lot of the corporate stuff. So we'll see. Marty's actually asking if there is another upcoming trip. Again, that was very instance-based. Like you hopped in and there was an experience that they led you through. So I think this is like just open world. And I say open world, I mean like it's going to be another instance, but it's not going to be the same thing as in the upcoming trip. I don't know when that happens. I don't know if they're even planning to have that.
Marty has a good point. Someone else pointed out that there was another run-up before the news again. That happened before with the acquisition. So it's, it seems like it's just like that's the one thing is that something's leaking out.
Insider trading abound. Yeah. I mean, it's got to be tough, when you do have a big organization like that because everybody's working on it. But yeah, they gotta try and get ahead of that stuff.
Very hard to do in Web3 though, because someone could just load up a wallet, right? Like they
can just tell their friends, hey, buy me some, and that's what I think. Again, like I think Ansem threw the fight and probably had his friends betting against him. Anyway, that's
even
all
if someone does buy it, it's like, how do you prove that they have inside information versus they're just buying it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's really hard to prove.
It's very tough. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. This is the last post I've got. Again, I was really vibing today on just wanting to have something positive to talk about. So the dashboard wasn't that full. Luke is talking about a based penguin here. So is there a reference here to base and the Pudgy Penguins? I do not know, but there might be.
Yeah, that seems pretty clearly like it is. Maybe they're going to airdrop or do a claim for holders or do something like that to try and expand Pudgies.
Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, then it gets into the whole dilution aspect of it. But if it's cheap and just like a fun collectible, then like, maybe it doesn't make that big of a difference. I don't know.
Yeah, the insider stuff, I don't know if you can get around, especially in this industry. I mean, there were rumblings about something happening with Moonbirds. It felt like from just the community that knows what's going on inside Moonbirds. It just felt like that. So it wasn't like this like cabal thing that happened. It felt like it was a little bit more open. Also, Moonbirds were at a low price for a very long time. You could have picked them up a while ago, and it's not like they were just sitting on the floor for a second. So, yeah, we'll see where it goes. That's about it for me, guys. I think we're going to get out of here. It's been an hour. We will be back tomorrow. Say What? GM Web3 and NFT Live. as we do every day. Appreciate y'all joining us. OVOT. It was a really great moment having Raven on here to
Thank you guys for having
unveil
me.
the piece that is now Biggie Poppins' collection. So
I'm gonna
really
go
cool
mint
stuff.
it right now. So
It's in here. Thank you. That was so awesome, man. I think the first time for me on stage, getting all emotional, I wouldn't have it any other way
It's
with
good.
my brother
It's
Raven.
good.
Thank you for dropping by, dude. I love the piece. Can't wait to get my hands on it. And OVOT,
Awesome.
fam. I love you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you guys very much.
Hell yeah. OVOTR Verberture.
Peace out.